In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the letter K using a rubber band loom. I'm using a rainbow loom, but you can use any brand of loom in which the pins are set in a straight row. I'm only going to be using one row of pins, so I've taken off the other two, but if your pins don't come off, that's fine. You will need 20 rubber bands to make the letter K, so I've chosen red. And you're going to start with the arrows facing away from you. And all of the bands that I put on are going to be doubled. So in order to do this, you want to place your rubber band on your hook, twist, and put it back on. So it has two bands on it. And we're going to just start on the end pin here. I'm going to be placing the length of 7 bands on the loom. So that's the first one. And now I'm going to do the second one. Again, it's going to be doubled. And as you're putting these on, you want to push them down to the bottom of the pin so we have room to add the next layer on top. Now for this next rubber band, what I'm actually going to be doing is taking 2 bands at once, and then I'm going to double those. So I'm putting them both on my hook, twisting, and then putting both loops back on. So I have 4 rubber bands on my hook. And this is going to be from the 4th pin up from the end of the loom to the 5th pin up. And the reason that I'm doing that is to just give the spine of the letter K a little bit more support for where the other pieces connect into it. So that is the length of 4 rubber bands. So I need to place 3 more rubber bands. And for all the rest of this, it's just going to be one single band that is doubled. And I have one more to do. And now I am going to go back to the start with the arrows still facing away from me. I'm going to count to the 4th pin up from the end of the loom here. That's where I'm going to start placing my next bands. And I want to place 4 rubber bands going up the loom. And it's just going to be one single band that's doubled. Again, that's the 4th pin up from the end. And we're placing the length of 4 rubber bands. And now I have one more here. It's going to be even with that lower layer where your ending is going to be on that same pin. And now I want to place a cap band on this end pin. And in order to do that, I'm going to quadruple a rubber band. So I'm going to place it on my hook, twist, and put it back on. Twist, put it back on, twist, and put it back on. So now you can see the 4 rubber bands on the hook. I'm going to place it right on the top here. It is going to be tight. And now I'm going to turn the loom around so the arrows are facing towards me. And I want to put my hook down through this end pin. I'm going to push back on the top 4 bands. That's the cap band that we just placed on. I'm grabbing the next 2 bands. I'm not doing anything to this lower layer. We're leaving that alone. So it's these upper 2 bands. Pulling them out and moving them ahead. And I'm just going to keep working my way up. And now I'm at the last pin here where we began, this upper layer. I'm going to put my thumb over top of this pin, and I want the rest of these bands that I just looped to come off. So I'm going to place my hook down through the end, and then just carefully pull these off. And I want to pull this out and to the right. It's going to go slant up to the top here. It's going to be the upper slanted part of the letter K. And now I want to push that down. I'm going to turn my loom around again, and this time I'm going to form the lower part of the letter K. So I'm going to go to the next pin up. If you count from the end of your loom here, it's going to be that 5th pin up. And again, I'm going to place 4 rubber bands going up the length of the loom. It's going to be just one single band that's doubled. And now we have one more. So it's going to go one past that lower layer. And now at the end here we want another cap band that we are going to quadruple. And if you feel like your bands are very tight and you're having a really tough time quadrupling, you can just triple that band. It'll just make a little bit bigger of a loop. And then once again I'm going to turn my loom around so the arrows are facing towards me, and I want to loop these 4 bands. So I'm taking my hook, going down through the middle, pushing back on those top 4 bands, and grabbing the bottom 2. I want to hold this cap band in place. I'm moving them ahead. And now once again you're going to have this lower layer that we're not doing anything with. You're just grabbing the top 2 bands and just working your way up. And now once again I'm going to put my thumb on top of this band, put my hook down through the other end. I'm going to release these from the pins, and this is going to slant just slightly out to the right. This is the lower part of the K. And now I have one more cap band to place on. It's going to be on the pin that's closest to me here with the last rubber band on it. And again, I'm quadrupling this, placing it right on the top. And now I want to loop the rest of the bands here. So I'm going down through, pushing back on the top 4, and grabbing the next 2. And now I'm just going to keep working my way up here. Now in between these 2 pins, we have the 2 bands that we doubled together. So you're actually going to have 4 rubber bands that need to come off of these pins. So you're reaching your hook down through, pushing back on all of these upper bands. I'm just going to grab 2 bands at once and pull them up through. And now I'm going to go back down this same pin, push back on those upper bands. I'm grabbing the last 2 bands and moving them ahead. And now for the rest of the way up, we just have 2 rubber bands. So I'm pushing back on all of these upper bands. I have these 2 bottom bands. This is going to be tight, so just be careful. You may want to wiggle this back and forth and just gently move it ahead since this pin is so full. And you're just going to keep working till you get to the very top here. And now you should have 1 rubber band left. You're going to reach your hook down through, push it out to the side. You're going to take this rubber band and pull it up through. Place the loose end back on your hook. So you should have 2 rubber bands on your hook. And now you can carefully remove all of the bands from the loom. It's going to be very tight on these 2 pins. And now you want to take the band that's closest to the end of your hook, slide it through the other band and pull tightly. It's going to make a slip knot. And then here's your letter K, and you will probably have to play around with the bands just a little bit to get them nice and straight. You want this spine here to be straight up and down. And now these pieces that come out, you want them to angle. So you want the bottom one to angle down, and you want the top one, of course, to angle up. And then there is your letter K. And here's another letter K that I made using pink and orange. So I just switched up the colors a little bit for some variety. I hope that everyone found this tutorial easy to follow along with. You can always leave me comments on YouTube and Facebook, post pictures of your creations to my Facebook page, and feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can stay up to date on my latest tutorials. You can also find me on Pinterest and Instagram, so please feel free to subscribe to those as well. Thanks for watching.